Good morning. It's Sunday, May 29th, and the garden is starting to really take shape now. There's only some hot peppers left to plant, and then it's going to be just maintenance and tying plants and staking, watering, feeding, and hopefully picking. But let's take a look at what's going on today. So if you'll recall from my previous update, this back row has indeterminate plants in the big pots with dwarfs in between, and these are the most advanced dwarfs. And one of the things you'll probably notice is the dwarfs in this back row are in the white grow bags, which seem to keep the temperature a little bit cooler and slow the plant growth a bit. And I'll just show you right now the dwarfs that are in the black grow bags, which were planted even a little bit later, are more advanced. You can take a look at this plant here. Then you jump back up to a row in the white bags, and they're a little bit smaller. But let's go a little bit slower here and just look at a few things. Mexico midget right here. And I'm not going to linger on any of the dwarfs, but just look at some of the tomatoes that are particularly interesting. This is the Cherokee purple heart-shaped fruit that we get from a Tomato-Palooza regular attendee, rock angier, and you can see both the floppy foliage and the big blossom cluster that's forming there. Let's see what else is interesting to look at here. Some beautiful plants. These indeterminates are looking great. The sun gold in the corner. Oh, there's my shadow as well. One of the things we'll notice here, this is a Cherokee purple. This one looks like it's saved in 2001, and you'll notice the just enormous cluster of blossoms on that, and it is setting fruit. So the nice thing is we've had good fruit set prior to the heat. Next to it is this Mullins mortgage lifter, which is showing the typical rampant mortgage lifter growth, really tall, and also the flower clusters seem to be particularly fuzzy. One of the things I have decided to do with these indeterminates that I'm growing in the large pots is to prune them in a way that I haven't in quite a few years. Try to take them to two main stems and then let them grow to the top of the poles so that things aren't so crowded out, especially with the dwarfs growing in between. Got a set of plants down here toward the end that don't quite get the sun, and here's one dwarf that's setting fruit already. This is Serendipity down here. You can see a pretty good blossom cluster right there. So the indeterminates are doing great. They're staked. They've been tied a few times. And I'm hoping for good productivity. So the next row, the row that's in front of them, which we're heading towards here, are my small pot indeterminates that are going to be severely pruned to one stem and then topped after a few blossom clusters. These are all in black pots, and they're looking great. You'll see right there is a little lucky with a good blossom cluster on it, and I think that one's looks like it's about to set fruit. Even the cherry tomatoes that I've grown here, like Coyote, I'm severely pruning. I just want to get some fruit for seed. Here's a few that are setting fruit already. I think these are going to be very similar varieties. There's Kimberly, which is potato leaf, next to a variety that my friend Jeff sent me, Frulieb, also potato leaf. And the other one down at the end here, which I think is going to be a determinate, so I probably won't prune it as severely. This is called, don't know how to pronounce it, Vizryv, V-Z-R-Y-V, and you can see a nice cluster of fruit that have formed there already. It's like I said, it's May 29th, and these were planted the first week of May, so they're making great progress. Also in black grow bags and really kicking into high gear are sweet peppers. This double row here are the peppers from my Blue Jay or Islander dehybridization project. So we've got some new name varieties that I'm hoping to bring along. This is curious. So this showed up in a planting of amethyst. Clearly got some variegated foliage, so could be a cross, but it looks like I have a variegated sweet pepper coming along there. These are some additional sweet peppers that are planted a little bit later, and a few hot peppers all doing well. And then we've got this row of dwarfs here. Like I had said, these are in black bags and they're doing very well. Look at the size of the blossom on that plant. And I think we'll have to get a name for that so I can let you know. That is dwarf purple heart. So Vince in California, it's putting out a pretty big blossom there. This plant here is a sunny F3 that came from an indeterminate sunny that came from the dwarf grow out. So we did find a dwarf in the mix. It's potato leaf, hoping for large yellow or orange fruit on that. These are all doing great. Here you'll see a plant that I just replaced yesterday, the summertime green that was sent to me by one of our growers. Just got diseased. It's the only one that was struggling, so I always keep extras for a while anyway, and I replaced it. You can see many of these dwarfs have really large blossoms that are coming. So without going into further detail, I think the next update in a week or two we can get a little more detailed on varieties. I'm already seeing a fruit on one of these. I'm going to have to go look at it. Here's the next row of dwarfs. And the one with the fruit is another one that my friend Jeff sent me, Shazka, or Shakska, S-H-A-Z-K-A. Let's see if I can get a look at that. That's clearly going to be quite early. The fruit set is in there. The rest of these are from the dwarf project, and again you can contrast the foliage color and size of the ones in the black bags when compared with the ones that are in the white bags. But from my experiences last year, they'll all do fine. This is one row of plants from my hot pepper, kind of creating new ornamental hot peppers. They're doing really well. And I'll show the other double row here. So I finally got all of these planted, and many of them are already starting to bud. The ones that haven't been mulched yet, I just planted yesterday. And then these are moving really fast. My eggplant that, again, I've not planted eggplant in the black grow bags before, but they're really taking off. And beautiful plants. We won't go into specific varieties yet, but they're looking really good. And the last thing to look at here are some additional small pot indeterminates that I planted yesterday. And some of these are additions of the varieties that I started for Carolyn that I wanted to grow out. All of Reinhard Kraft's new heart-shaped early generation varieties are in here, as well as this variety Lucinda that looks like it's descended from silvery fir tree. And this little fellow in here, which took forever to germinate, is an Abraham Lincoln from 1996 saved seed that I got out of the USDA collection. I really want to grow that out for fresh seed. Let's end with just a shot. These are the flowers that I started from seed. So we've got some Cosmos Sonata, some snapdragons. First time I've grown snapdragons and got them to bloom from seed since I lived in Pennsylvania. Some dahlias and zinnias and some cosmos, some other random things over there. That's it. We'll do this again soon. We won't look at the big garden, but the beans are doing well. The lettuce is starting to bolt, and squash and cucumbers are up and growing. And there's got some tomatillos and ground cherry and sun golds planted in the front row. Have a good day, everybody.